Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. And today's episode, we're going to talk about the first half, SNL 50. And then on the second half, obviously, the return of White Lotus season 3. So this is gonna come kind of late because obviously SNL 50 was 3 hours long, and I watched all of SNL before going to watch White Lotus. I was not given screeners for White Lotus, so I'm going to be watching it week to week. I know a lot of people got the first 4 of White Lotus and the overall themes and everything, but we're going to go through SNL 50 first before we go to White Lotus. SNL 50 was amazing, and if this is, it's interesting to think because if SNL is here 10 years from now, which I don't think it is because I think SNL goes away about 2 years after Lorne Michaels finally decides to step down. Remember, Lorne Michaels is very old. And according to Matt Bellany, each episode of SNL costs $4.5 million to make. And that is 22 episodes a season for a broadcast show that does not really do well ratings wise anymore. Because obviously no one has cable anymore and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's interesting because, assuming it does make it to 60, a lot of the people who are in that audience right now will not be here 10 years from now. I didn't realize how old a lot of the people who are currently in their 70s look. Like Bill Murray looked rough. Anyway, the show opened up with Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon. And wow, Sabrina Carpenter live is amazing. Then we have the cold open sketch with Kim K and Will Ferrell, where it's kind of done in the I got my tight pants on sketch, which was great. Then we do Black Jeopardy with Keenan, Tracy Morgan, and Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy pretending to be Tracy Morgan, which was fantastic. And then, what is it? Oh my God. Wow. I am blanking, and that is Tom Hanks. That's right. Tom Hanks comes in, and he's playing your standard MAGA guy named Doug. And he knew all the questions, and he's like, you know what if we have a white Jeopardy? And then it kind of was like, whatever. And then our favorite sketch, the Domingo Cinematic Universe expands. So obviously the first one had Ariana Grande doing a Sabrina Carpenter song, Espresso. And then the second one had, wow, I can't even remember what the second Domingo was. But either way, this one was Sabrina Carpenter doing Defying Gravity, and it expanded the whole Domingo universe. Domingo has 2 brothers, and we learn that, God, I can't even remember what the fuck happened. Oh yeah, that the dude hooked up and he cheated on Chelsea. I can't believe it. And it was fucking fantastic. Obviously. Oh, then we do what the fuck is this? God. Oh, Amy and Tina come out. They do the whole crowd working thing, similar to what Jerry Seinfeld did 10 years ago. We go to Julia Louis-Dreyfus with a dog, and Jerry Seinfeld's behind him and talks to Seth Meyers, and the entire thing is great. Then there is John Mulaney does New York Through the Decades as a musical sketch, which is, I think, the best musical sketch we've had from Mulaney yet. We did Hamilton, we did the 80s, we did that song from Toy Story. Then we do Pete Davidson Chad sketch, which was great. Miley Cyrus does a song in a beautiful purple dress and looks so hot. Then we had Weekend Update Through the Decades, and what's it called? They rank everybody. What's it called? Bill Murray ranks everybody from 10 to 1. At first, he goes like, my favorite black Weekend Update, and just by one, it was only been Michael Che. And then, he goes through it all. It was great. And then I kind of just stopped watching because I was like, it kind of got really dumb after the Amy Poehler sketch with Miles Teller. Lil Wayne performed, and then I turned it off. I'll watch the last half later. Anyway, now we're here at White Lotus season 3. First of all, they changed the theme song. It's not that banger anymore. It's something very calm and, whatever. So this theme is very like Goop, these wellness centers, which is funny because I was on Elsbeth, and I was a person who went to one of these fancy wellness things, like a multi-millionaire out of touch rich guy. So it was very funny. The episode opens up with what the fuck is it? with Belinda's son talking to a wellness therapist. His name is Zion. And then we hear gunshots. Boom, 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 boom. And by the way, it's not just like your standard like killing one guy, is it? These gunshots are going on for about 6 minutes in the cold opening. And our boy Zion is like running through the pond, and then we see a body come towards him, and then we fall back a week. So obviously, someone we know is going to die. This has always been the theme of White Lotus: is who's the killer and who's gonna die. Now, for those of you who don't know, the evil characters in all TV shows, if you're gonna use a phone without a case, because this has always been a loophole as someone who works in television, that's how I know. The evil bad characters have to use an Android phone, and good characters are allowed to have an iPhone without the case. So that kind of gives you a hint on who the potential mass shooters could be. Just always remember that. And it's annoying once you know that, because you're like, oh yeah, right. So that's why usually if you just make everyone have an Android phone, which isn't realistic, because we all know attractive people use iPhones and ugly people use Androids, and people who are bad people drive Honda Civics. These are just like factual rules of life. But we start off with them all on the boat. And by the way, this is like a very hot cast. I really wish Daphne was in this season. Daphne was played by Megan Failey. Yeah, right. Megan Faye. Sorry, I said it wrong. But she would have fit great in with the hot white girl trio, which is Jacqueline, Lori, and what the hell's the third? It's hard to remember. The show just came out. I can't remember the names of all the main characters. I was writing down notes. And Kate. And Jacqueline was like a hot, actress. I'm gonna assume in the modern equivalent, she is basically we're a Winona Ryder type, except she's in her 40s, so she's been like successful forever. But the white women on this season are amazing. Like, I just want to like rank them. I think I go first with Jacqueline, who's our actress, Victoria, who is the hot Xanax mom, Chloe, who lives on top of the hill near the hotel, Chelsea, who is the young yoga teacher who is fucking Rick, right? It's their standard, 25-year-old who's fucking the 55-year-old. And then there's Piper, who is the daughter of the rich family, who has great eyebrows and is there to write a thesis on Buddhism or whatever. So we meet our cast of characters. Timmy is Timothy, by the way, who has an Android phone. Spoilers. He's a wealthy businessman who's mad because they tell her you can't use your cell phone, and he gets mad at Rick because he's like smoking on the boat, and this is a long boat drive. Victoria is a hot Xanax mom, rich mom. She went to fucking UNC. The dad went to Duke, and this is the whole plot line because the youngest kid, Lachlan, has to choose where he wants to go to college, right? We have Saxon, who is played by Patrick Schwarzenegger, who is your standard Murray Hill white boy. And boy, he's supposed to be like our Theo James character this season. And he gets rejected by every fucking white woman he tries to fuck in our first episode. He tries to hit on Chelsea, doesn't work. He tries to hit on Jacqueline, doesn't work. And he's a white guy who's 6'2". Looks like that fucking, what was the TikTok song that goes like, I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes. All right, that thing. He looks exactly like that, but he gets rejected on it because I guess he's too like, they just think he's a dweeb. And he, there's this whole weird plot line because towards the end of the episode, he's like, don't be like your sister. She's hot, but she's a virgin and she never fucks him. And I guess Saxon wants to fuck his sister. And Piper is hot. Listen, Piper is a hot, skinny white girl, great eyebrows. I don't know what her story is yet, but. And then Saxon's like, yo, tell him, Uncle, you're a good looking guy, man. You just got to bulk up. Like, you can fuck any white woman you want. Then he's like, oh, God, how am I going to jerk off all week here? And then Locke is watching his brother get naked in the bathroom and jerk off the porn. And then he closes the door. This weird incest in this family. No me gusta. Okay. Then we have the trio, the Jacqueline, Kate, Lori trio, who were all friends growing up. And it's clearly like in all friendships, the main friends are Jacqueline and Kate, whereas Lori is like the ugly friend who just tags along, and they keep forgetting about Lori. And then like Lori goes away and she just sees Kate and Jacqueline getting along, and Jacqueline is hot. Obviously, it's Michelle Monaghan. We know she's a baddie. Okay, we all want to fuck Michelle Monaghan. Then we have the Chelsea and Rick situation. Now, when you're on the boat, you think, oh, Chelsea is Rick's daughter. Nope. Chelsea is the white woman that Rick is fucking. Okay. So you're standing, still young and great. But by the way, Rick has an iPhone, so he's not a bad guy. Okay. Um, but he says he can't go to Australia. I guess he's whatever. Anyway, so Chelsea's at the bar. We meet Chloe, who looks exactly so much like Chloe Fineman from SNL. Great eyebrows, your standard thing. And we see that, oh my God, she is dating, guess who? Greg from season 1 and 2 of White Lotus. If you forgot, Greg hired the evil gays, the evil gays to kill, God, I can't even remember the fucking character name. We all know this. Jennifer Coolidge's character, Tanya. Okay, we see Greg. We're like, wow, which means Greg got all the inheritance money because Tanya died. And maybe Greg is wanted for murder because I can't write because the second murder happened in Italy. So maybe he never goes back to America. I don't really know. We're going to find out how they meet. But this is, Greg got no game. Another, so many rich fucking white men with women who are 20 years younger than them that they could never pull normally. Okay. Crazy. Greg, you fucking murderer. But I'm going to assume we're going to get some incest sex, okay? Probably a lot of incest sex because I think eventually is that either Locke is going to see his sister naked or Saxon is going to I don't know, but it seems like this family's fucked up, okay? Now, theories on who I think are the mass shooters and why. And who's going to die. Okay, so we know Zion is going to be alive, and he hopes his mother's not the one who dies. I don't think they're going to kill the mom. Okay, based off the phones, because this is how it always works, that means our potential mass shooters are Timothy, Greg, or Lori. Now, based off all the gunshots it could be someone who snaps. Lori could finally snap and start shooting everyone. I just don't believe we're going to do the white guy mass shooting thing again. It's too obvious, too American, just to assume the white guy is going to do the mass shooting. I think Greg is the mass shooter, which does mean it is a white guy, but it is different. Or, yeah, no. Or Lori is, yeah. You know what? Actually, here. I think Lori is the mass shooter, and she killed Greg and Timothy. And the body that comes down to Zion sees is Timothy. Oh, man. That's what I think happens. By the way, Daphne from season 2 would have loved the hot white girl group. Okay? So anyway, this has been another episode of Authentic with Brazil 201.